Hello and welcome to another edition, episode 80 of the Are You Ready Wrestling podcast here on Newport City Radio. This week, I'm Luke and I'm going to be talking about Cody Rhodes yet again becoming champion of the world.
Hi, I'm Curtis, and for my segment this week, I'm talking about where does this leave former champ Drew Mclyntyre.
Hi, I'm Jack. For my segment this week, I'll be talking about Road Dogg leaving the WWE creative team.
I can't wait to get into all of that, but before we do, there's someone a little bit different on this podcast this week, isn't there?
There is.
A familiar voice.
Familiar face. Familiar voice.
Since he's last been with us, he's been in, was it Benidorm?
Yeah, Benidorm.
And then
Bradford, Spain.
And Bradford.
And now he's back with
Bradford.
us.
And now I'm back in the not-so-sunny Wales.
Well, I'd imagine Bradford's not so sunny as well.
Nah, it wasn't. It was alright there, to be fair, though. It was good. A lot of travelling, though.
Would you recommend it to a friend?
Depends what you're going there for, to be honest. Thames End is not too bad.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is a wrestling podcast. Good afternoon, Jack.
Good afternoon, Luke.
And it's nice to have you back with us, Curtis.
Yeah, it's good to be back, boys.
And something else is back. It's probably the last time you were with us, Curtis. Cody Rhodes was champion. He's champion again.
He is.
He is.
On Friday Night SmackDown, as we mentioned last week, Drew McIntyre was to face Cody Rhodes for the undisputed title because of Drew's constant actions as champion, kind of preventing Cody from winning the Chamber or winning the Royal Rumble. So Nick Aldis, at the Elimination Chamber event, decided to make a one-on-one match between those two and ended up seeing Cody winning the title once again.
After 2 months. It seemed like 2 months, I think.
No, it generally was.
Yeah, it was 2 months. It was 2 months.
He lost it on the first SmackDown of the year, which I think was the 6th of... I believe the first or second SmackDown of the year. The 6th or the 8th of January. And now he's won it back again on the 8th of... On the 7th... Oh, my dates are all over the place here. Hang on, let me... He won it again on the 6th of March. So yes, around 2 months that Drew had the title for. Does Cody feel forced upon us?
Well,
Where are we going to start today?
They're sort of obviously they've been building this match between Randy and Cody for months now, with obviously Randy making eyes at the title in a way.
Pretty much ever since Cody won it.
Ever since, and that's obviously with Drew being champion in the middle of that has took a back seat. But I think now they're fully on board with this match. They are promoting, and I think Randy's going to win. I'm a strong believer that Randy will win.
You think this will be a very short reign from Cody Rhodes?
Yes.
I think the reason why they've done it is to more of the fact of they've been teasing the Cody and Randy stuff for so long now.
Yeah.
And I think they wanted Cody into around the Elimination Chamber and the Royal Rumble stuff to just boost it a bit more and, give us that question of, like we were doing on the past podcast, who's going to win the elimination, who's going to win the Rumble, who's going to win the elimination chamber, that kind of aspect of, they're automatically going to assume Cody's going to win it. But
like me and Jack did 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, as well. Kind of like that stuff. Who does win the elimination chamber? So I think that's why they've done it. I can understand why they've done it. I think Drew was the wrong person. I think no. Yeah. I think that right person, wrong time is what I'm going to say for that for the stuff, because Drew deserves a long title reign. He deserves to go on a proper title reign with actual fans, I think.
Yes, of course.
He's done so much for the company, and it was unfortunate that he won the title when it was the COVID pandemic and there was no fans there for him to, celebrate with. So I think that's unfortunate for him. I think the timing of everything. He was the right person to take the title off Cody. I think it's just the wrong time for it.
But now they could sort of play it off as like long term booking, storytelling, or whatever they usually say now, because they've obviously took the belt off Drew.
Yeah.
That's what I could kind of see happening. Like they play into this whole long term of this sort of mini sort of feud that it's going to be.
And I'd say, does Cody feel forced? To me, watching WWE week in, week out, it does feel like he has his own podcast. He's the champion. He's the face of the company. It does feel like Cody Rhodes is the main character of WWE at the moment. He was Roman Reigns for a good while.
Yeah.
It feels at the moment it's Cody Rhodes. And I like it, don't get me wrong. But do we remember when Roman Reigns came out on the Raw after WrestleMania and as a babyface and got continuously booed by the fans? Do we remember that?
Yeah.
Not saying that's gonna happen to Cody, because Cody is much more developed as a wrestler than Reigns was then. But I don't know, Jack. Am I right in feeling that Cody is?
Well, they say he's the quarterback of WWE, so he is doing an incredible job with what he's been given at the moment. With in certain storylines, like you said, he's practically everywhere. He has his own podcast. He's does a lot of media for the company, which is expected of every wrestler, but him more so because he's the sort of quarterback, as we like to call him.
Yeah. Where does this kind of leave the main event scene of WrestleMania? Because Randy came out on SmackDown on Friday, even before Cody won the title, and said that he's been at 20 WrestleManias. He's only been in the main event twice.
Yeah.
Do we see a match between Cody and Randy main event in night 1 or night 2? Where do we see it placed on the card?
Night 2, I believe.
To close out WrestleMania.
Yes.
Do you agree with that, Curtis?
Yeah, I agree with that. I think you know the these two matches for WrestleMania so far, Roman Punk, Cody, Randy, they're solid matches. They're ticket sellers. They are, is what I'm going to say. This, you know, I think they're going to finally boost these ticket sales for WrestleMania. So you know, I think I could see a main event. I could see one opening, one main event in.
You think Reigns and Punk or Cody Randy could open a WrestleMania?
That'd be cool.
I think they'll open. I think they'll open either night 1 or night 2. One of them. I don't see the main event in both nights because I think they're going to have the women's on the one night. Yeah. But obviously, the thing is, there's a lot of rumours going around that there's 7 matches on each night, which there normally is anyway. I think there's about 6 each night normally, isn't there?
Well, if you consider there's normally the champion, so you got men's champion, women's champion.
That's 4 alone.
That's 4.
That's 4. You've got the 4 mid-card titles, men's and women's Intercontinental and US Championship. So that's 8.
That's 8 titles.
You've also got the 2 tag team titles.
Yeah. That's 10 in total.
And then that gives you, for non-feuds like your Brock Lesnar's or your big-name wrestlers. And
your Brock Lesnar's versus Gunther's and all that type
exactly.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Or do we maybe see this year we don't have all the titles defended at WrestleMania? I mean, it feels like... I was going to say it felt like the Intercontinental title would be defended, but...
yeah, that was...
Curtis, what happened to Dominic Mysterio on Monday night before his match? What happened?
He got cursed!
He did. Danhausen cursed him, and he lost the title.
Oh. Luke.
Curtis.
You're cursed.
Doesn't work, you're not Danhausen.
Danhausen, where are you, lad? Say his name and he appears. I believe in Danhausen. I believe in Danhausen.
But as you say, Curtis, as you say, this is a ticket-selling main event because there's...
They both are.
Yeah.
You know, just this Cody Randy stuff alone, because... to people of a certain age, you know, a little bit older than us, you know, Randy was main eventing whilst Cody was, coming through, and they had the Legacy faction. So you have those fans from, the early 2010s, and you've got the Rhodes versus the Ortons, which, back in the 80s was a big feud on the in the territory system, and I just think this just appeals to demographics, not just that watch wrestling nowadays.
Yeah, it's definitely going to bring a lot of eyes to the sport,
as WrestleMania always does.
Yeah.
This feels much better than getting a 4-way, in my eyes. I know I say Cody's been, he's feels like he's everywhere or whatever, but this does feel a lot better than having a fatal 4-way.
It feels like a definitive, like someone is going to win.
Yes.
This sort of feud. So,
I mean, others could still be added, but for now, it's just a straight-on one-on-one match between Cody Rhodes, Randy Orton, and do we see Randy turning heel? Because I've seen conflicting theories and feelings online, and do we see him turning heel?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say Cody's going to turn heel.
Interesting.
Obviously, after Randy wins, and he sort of, I think he sort of spirals.
So this match will be a straight babyface versus babyface match at WrestleMania.
I think so, yeah.
Curtis, do you agree with Jack? Will it be babyface versus babyface, or could you see some heelish ways from...
Cody will turn heel. Cody will turn heel.
When?
Before Mania.
Oh, wow.
Just before Mania. I could see... I could see something happening, and Cody just finally blows. Cody finally blows,
It's something similar that they're trying to do with Sami Zayn. I think I've seen is he's had so many sort of chances and
I like what they're doing with Sami Zayn at the moment.
Big profile matches, and he's just finally like snapped. And
kind of all the backstage work he's doing at the moment does seem really cool. Curtis, I believe this is over to you now.
It is. So we've just spoke about Cody finally winning the title again. Where does this leave one Drew McIntyre? He's the former champ. He hasn't got a title to him. He got beat on SmackDown. Where do we think this leads to? Where do we think this leads for him?
Nick Aldis.
Nick Aldis, is it?
Yes.
Explain. Elaborate.
As obviously we're aware, the tensions between the two have sort of boiled over to a point where the match, obviously the title match was announced on SmackDown, and Drew eventually loses the belt, and I think he'll put it down to Nick Aldis's decision making. Really, I think he'll have sort of a Barney with him somehow, which I'm all for, because Nick Aldis is in tremendous shape. He keeps himself sort of fit and healthy. Yeah, really. And personally, I prefer him over Adam Pearce. Personally, it's not by much. It's not by much.
They're both as annoying as each other, to be honest.
But would you prefer that match over Drew versus Jacob Fatu?
Ooh,
that's a difficult one. I got that on my notes.
How does it feel, Curtis?
That's a difficult
How
one.
does it feel? It's happened so many times now that you've stolen my my talking points and my points I want to mention. How does it finally feel?
I think...
Just you wait, buddy boy. Just you wait. You're forgetting there's still one more segment to go.
Yeah. Oh.
Jack, take it straight to me.
I think I'm more favouring a Nick Aldis match because we haven't really seen a authority figure go up against a wrestler since, I believe, was it Kurt Angle? Or maybe even earlier than that.
It wouldn't have been Shane McMahon, would it?
Yeah, and I think those type of matches sort of bring more, as you say, eyes to the sort of company, like what Stone Cold and Vince did in the sort of Attitude Era, where him versus
What era? Sorry.
the Attitude Era.
Oh, the Attitude Era.
Yeah, and it's
Go on, the boy.
Brings out the balance of obviously an employee going after his boss. Is that sort of the storyline I think will go down at Mania, I believe.
Interesting. What do you see Jacob Fatu doing at WrestleMania?
Oh.
If in your world Drew McIntyre faces Nick Aldis.
It's all really up in the air for me at the moment with Fatu, because he's involved in so many sort of main storylines over the last few weeks. I think that they need to fit him in somewhere, because you can't have him have this sort of major or semi-major push that he's had and not have sort of a payoff.
Yeah, because he's been, he's worked his way up, quite rightly so, towards the top of the card. He beat LA Knight to become US champion last WrestleMania, I believe it was, last year. He deserves a big spotlight match because he's just done some really good work over the past 12 months. So I think a lot of fans will also point towards it being Drew versus Jacob, because those two were supposed to be the other two in this fatal four-way that we thought we were going to have, but ended up not happening.
Nope.
My thought is, why put the belt on him for like 2 months? Why from January to March? Why put the belt on him, considering it's going straight back to Cody? I mean, it's nice to see him champion, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But considering
100%.
that the belt was always going to go back to Cody, because we're now seeing Cody versus Randy, why?
Well, I think it's more boils down to the fact that Randy has sort of said in his promo before the match even started was he doesn't matter if it's Drew or Cody, he's going to win. I think he's backing himself quite heavily here. So
yeah, because like I say, Curtis, why only for 2 months? Or are we positioned and programmed now, seeing Roman Reigns had a run as champion for 1,316 days? Considering we saw Gunther hold the title for the Intercontinental title, was it for around 2 years?
Yeah, it was
year
just
and a half?
I think it was just over 600 days.
Are we now programmed to have or to think that title reigns should go on for way too long?
I think the problem is, right, they had the title for so long on Roman that it is near enough impossible to have a title like that, have someone
to get near that.
Like, it's especially Gunther as well. He was the longest reigning WWE UK champion. He was the Intercontinental champion. He was the world champion. To keep that standard of stuff, and Cody's capable of that. But I think he's already done it. When he chased Roman for the title and finally beat him, that was the best he's ever going to get. And I don't mean to throw... I like Cody as a wrestler. I like Cody as a person. He's phenomenal at what he does. But I just think, as in a sense of now, enough's enough now, I could see Randy winning the title at Mania. And then maybe somewhere further down the line in maybe a year's time, he faces Gunther. Gunther becomes champion. retires Randy Orton.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Something like that, I could see.
Do you think that they'll allow Randy Orton to get to 17 world titles so he's level with John Cena?
I don't think it's more of the fact of they'll allow him. I think John Cena would want it. As John Cena is a person for what's best for business, I think that's what they'll do.
He was one of his greatest rivals as well, so...
You know, I think I'm gonna use this. It's related to John Cena. The time is now to pull the trigger on Randy Orton winning the world title.
Oof, okay. At WrestleMania?
Yes.
Okay.
This time next month. Well, not this time. Yeah, near enough. This time next month. Wait, is it the end of April or the start of April? WrestleMania.
The start, I believe. No.
It's normally the 4th and 5th, isn't it?
Yeah. Let me have a look.
Have a look.
Talk amongst yourselves.
How's life, Jack? Chilling, yeah?
Yeah.
WrestleMania 42 this year is...
It is.
It is.
18th and 19th of April.
18th and 19th. So
just over a month.
Just over a month's time, I think we'll come in, do the podcast for this after WrestleMania, whenever we decide to crawl out of bed.
Yeah.
And
we'll have a new world.
we'll have a new undisputed champion.
And that man's name is
Randy Orton.
Randy Orton.
Randy Orton.
The Oscars are next weekend.
Are they?
They are.
Oh, wow.
I think Paul Heyman deserves an Oscar for his performance on Monday Night Raw, doesn't he? You know what I'm talking about, Jack, don't you?
Yeah.
Seth Rollins, as we mentioned, returned last week at the Elimination Chamber. He was finally revealed to be the Masked Man, even though we kind of had an inkling he was behind it all in the first place. And then the Vision were cutting a promo on Monday Night Raw, and a couple of masked men came out to kind of divert their attention of the Vision, and Austin Theory chased one, and Logan Paul chased another, or whatever. And then that just left Paul Heyman in the ring by himself. Another masked man came down the entranceway to kind of distract Heyman, whilst from behind, in the same city that Rollins did the exact same thing with the Shield.
Was in the same city? Oh, wow.
Same building, maybe, I think.
Yeah.
He hit Paul Heyman with a steel chair right to the back.
Yeah.
And then he gave him a stomp, which to me, to begin with, originally I thought looked like broke Paul Heyman's nose, because he was bleeding, wasn't he? He was bleeding quite heavily.
Yeah.
But I don't think so. I'm sure we'll see Paul Heyman on Monday Night Raw.
He sold it very well, though.
He did.
He did very well.
He did. But, yeah, credit to Paul Heyman for that, Jack.
Yes.
Who do we... If Braun's not back in time, is Logan Paul at WrestleMania, Curtis, for Seth Rollins, do you think?
Yeah,
what's your opinion on this?
Yeah, I could see it being Logan. I think, you know, I think either way you look at it, there's quite a few of them how they could do this. You know, they've played it well. If one of them's injured, someone else can step in. You know, they're kind of like secret agents in a way. They're like MI5. They send different people out. You know,
the Vision is MI5
every week.
You've heard it here first.
You've
on
heard
the Ready podcast.
Yeah. I've had some insight whilst I was over in Benidorm, you see.
Did you?
Yeah.
So was it all that alcohol you were drinking?
Yeah,
Not that
probably.
we condone that here on Newport City
Nope.
Radio.
Drink responsibly. We have to say that, otherwise we'll get in trouble by higher-ups, Ofcom and all that.
Jack?
Yes.
Jack, go on, finish us off. Let's hit the road.
Yes. Talking of hitting the road, we have talked about this multiple times on the podcast that SmackDown feels a bit flat.
Flatter than a pancake, lad.
With regards to the creative team, they seem to have no sort of direction on where the sort of structure of the show is, and it's come out in the past couple of days that Road Dogg has left the creative team.
Yeah,
I don't really think this comes as too much of a surprise to me.
I was completely shocked when I first saw it, but then I sort of looked at the bigger picture and thought, SmackDown has been a bit flat lately.
I mean, he was the head writer when SmackDown originally went to 3 hours.
He was.
And that first run of 3 hour SmackDowns just felt like they dragged, and it was so boring, and I turned some of them off because, there wasn't a lot going on, and whatever. Wasn't there a clip, Curtis, you've seen all of WWE in real? I'm sure there was a clip of him where he suggested putting the Women's United States title back onto Chelsea Green.
Yeah.
And then Triple H said, what would you do with her as champion? Or who would she face?
And who would she face? And the only ones... I actually, it came up again earlier, the actual reel of it on social media, and they were basically saying... Triple H said, well, the only people that they would face, that she would face, would be...
the people she's already fought.
All the people that she's already seen and stuff. If she was to face someone like Alexa Bliss or Tiffany Stratton, they'd have to win.
Yeah.
They'd have to beat her, so it would be pointless.
Yeah.
Exactly. Do you think the writing was on the wall from that point?
Yes.
Yes. As soon as you sort of put that statement
out, I think as soon as they put that Unreal stuff out, they realised,
he needs to move on.
And I mean, with all the negative discourse around the creative side of WWE, I felt that they've needed a really strong push going into this WrestleMania,
which I think they are slowly delivering. Over the last few weeks,
they needed a bit of a freshening up on the creative side of things, haven't they, Curtis?
Definitely.
I've definitely seen an improvement in the last few weeks.
Since the start of the year.
What are you laughing at?
I'll tell you after the podcast. Since the start of the year, I feel like not just SmackDown. I think Raw has always been pretty good, But then they've had more top superstars, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
You look at Monday Night Raw, you've had the Vision over there, so you've had Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed, Logan Paul. You've had obviously Paul Heyman, you've got the Usos, you've got Gunther, you had Cena for a while, now you've got Brock Lesnar, CM Punk, AJ Styles, so I know SmackDown, obviously you had Drew, you had Randy, you have Cody, you have all these different people. We still need a draft. Need a draft.
I think draft is on the horizon, possibly after Mania.
Hopefully, so that's usually when they have one, but it's nearly been 2 years since we last had one, so definitely needs one. Just for fresh matchups and for just new circumstances and all that.
Yeah.
But, I mean, a lot of the negativity was directed towards him in terms of a creative standpoint.
Yeah.
So, I think this... taking a phrase you said earlier, Curtis, it's best for business.
Best for business.
It's best for business.
Which is a shame, because Road Dogg obviously knows his stuff when it comes to the actual business side of stuff. So he knows how hard it is to actually perform sort of to your best. But as sort of a writer, I think he needs a slight improvement in the way he writes stuff, personally. But, I thought it was coming over the last few weeks.
I agree. Are we even more excited for WrestleMania now? I mean, it feels... Yes, I mean...
The picture's becoming more and more clear.
It is.
Of where...
But do you not think it's still a bit unpredictable with, Cody winning the title on the road to WrestleMania, even though the Elimination Chamber and the Royal Rumble are out the way, and... There is still a lot to do. There's still an air of unpredictability about it all, I feel.
A lot to do.
There is a lot to do. But I feel like it's not as bad as it was last year. I don't think anything can top the build to WrestleMania 40. I think we've said on this podcast that's where wrestling peaked. So I think we've kind of touched upon it today when Cody won the title at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
It kind of... the best it could ever get was then, but...
Yeah.
It was their, end game as...
the end of the road,
Wrestling fun, yes.
The end of the road. This is the end of the road for us.
It is.
It is.
Someone's going out, I heard. And you, Luke. Gonna have a few friends.
Yeah. Thank you, Jack.
Thank you.
Thank you, Curtis.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening to another edition of the Are You Ready Wrestling Podcast. We'll see you soon.